Before we get going, I've got something exciting to share with you. If you've ever held yourself back because of self doubt, hesitated to put yourself forward, or felt invisible in your business, you might be interested in my brand new digital program, Confidently You. It launches on the 15th of September and the waiting list is now open. Inside this program, I'll guide you through my signature silk method to help you silence self doubt, ignite your confidence, look the part, and keep showing up with magnetic presence. If you're ready to stop missing opportunities and start being seen, join the waiting list today for exclusive benefits, including an early bird discount. I'll leave the link in the show notes. Now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome to Style and Confidence, where transformative coaching meets personal styling for business success. I'm your host, Claire Silk, a transformative life coach and a personal stylist, passionate about helping women like you align your inner worth with your outer expression. Each week, we explore how to build lasting confidence from the inside out, so you can show up as your most authentic, empowered self. Whether you're looking to break through limiting beliefs, build authentic confidence and a winning mindset, or create a wardrobe that truly empowers you, you are in the right place. Get ready to transform your relationship with both your mind and your style. Today I am joined by the very lovely Emma Storey, founder of the Success Styling Co. Emma is a mindset personal stylist, helping female business owners close the story that they need the perfect body in order to see success. There is always a reason why we dress the way we dress, and Emma loves helping women uncover why and how they can start being intentional with their wardrobe to represent who they are and the story behind their brand. She helps women embrace their body and love themselves for who they are, so they can show up for their business from a place of alignment. Welcome to the podcast, Emma. It's really nice to have you here today.
It's nice to be here. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on here.
It's really great to have you. So, would you like to introduce yourself and tell everyone a bit about you?
Yeah, so my name's Emma. I am a mindset personal stylist, which I know a lot of people, when you say that to them, they're like, what's that? I basically help someone learn how to dress for their body shape because that's what I specialize in, as well as also helping with their body confidence and their mindset so they can generally feel amazing about themselves inside and out. I've only just started doing this like a few months ago, but I feel like it's something that's definitely needed in this industry. So yeah, I'm really excited to get going with this.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's so important. And I think we've got quite a lot in common with the things we do. And that holistic approach to help somebody on the outside, a bit that's visible, but then also kind of really help them on the inside too. What first inspired you to become a stylist?
Good question. So I have always loved fashion from a very, very early age. When I was about 7 years old, even throughout the teenage years, I would end up drawing loads of fashion designs in my spare time. I just loved doing it. So I knew there was something I wanted to do in fashion. And I've tried so many different avenues. I've done a lot of trial and error. And it wasn't until actually I did a course and there was so many different styling to it. It was editorial styling, there was e-com styling, and then obviously personal styling. And when I started doing the personal styling and was actually getting clients and was helping them with it, something just clicked inside of me. And I was like, this is what I should be doing. This is the thing that lights me up and excites me, and just helping the everyday person feel amazing about themselves. So I was like, this is exactly what I want to be doing with my life. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it is lovely, isn't it? That feeling when you've really helped somebody feel great about themselves. It's
Yeah,
amazing, isn't it?
it is. It really is.
What does style mean to you, and how has your personal style evolved?
For me, I feel like it's just expression, because I always say, because I help with CEOs, I always say it's like your walking talking sales page. It's basically how people see you before you even speak. So it's like where you have the 7 seconds when you judge someone, like you're judged within the first 7 seconds by the way that you are dressing. People know exactly who you are. And that's the thing I love about it. It's just such a huge self-expression that you can just show, whether you're bubbly or loud or bold, or whether you're an introvert. It's just the way you can do it through clothes is just amazing. And I absolutely love that. And for me personally, my style has evolved so many times. Throughout your life, you never ever have just one style because so many things happen in your life that just completely changes you and like your identity completely shifts. And I know for me, when I turned 30 last year, it was like a huge identity shift for me because it was like, I'm not going to be dressed in the way I was when I was in my 20s. So actually, I know who I am, and that's an incredible feeling to actually generally know who you are and to be able to do that through style is just insane.
And so important, I think, isn't it, as well, to really understand who you are in that
Yeah.
moment of time, rather than keep dressing how you were in your 20s. And then you get an incongruence, don't you, when your life is the life you're leading in your 30s, but you're still
Mhm.
dressing like you were in your 20s, and it's mismatched. A huge part of it, I think, is knowing who you are, which gets
Yeah.
overlooked quite a lot, I think. So,
Yeah, 100%.
what about self-image? How has your personal journey shaped your self-image?
So my self-image has been a very long, long journey. I have had such a horrible relationship with the way I look throughout my whole entire life. Like when I was 10 years old, I was 13 stone. So I've had this huge battle throughout my whole entire life to do with my weight and the way I look. And having that journey and generally learning to heal myself with that, it's just been an absolute roller coaster. But I think if I hadn't have gone through all of that with myself, I don't think I would literally be obsessed with myself right now. And obviously that makes it sound like as if I'm like arrogant. But when you
Not
have
at
that
all.
huge obsession with yourself, everything just becomes so much easier and it becomes so much better because it's like your confidence is just getting higher and higher and higher. There are times where I do look in the mirror and it's like, oh, okay. But it's almost like I have the tools and the mindset tools to be like, actually, no, we still look good. We're just having one of those days. And for someone like me as well, because I have gone through some massive health issues. So it was almost like at the time I went back to that moment where I was reliving that whole entire journey all over again because um I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, so I can't control my weight. So it's one of those times where I was like, oh my God, I've gone back to your old me where it was this self-hatred. And it's a journey. It's it's one of those things that just never ever comes overnight. It's years and years and years of literally healing and being able to look at yourself as if like you're amazing. And I think so many women miss that when it comes to their self-image, that they'll just look at themselves or they'll even avoid mirrors because they're like, I can't look at myself. It's an amazing, incredible, priceless feeling that when you can generally look at yourself and actually be happy and content with the person that's staring back at you, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
incredible.
Gosh, that's quite an inspirational story. And to hear that you've battled with that to the extent that you have as well, with it, a lot of it being out of your control as well, because that makes it 10 times harder.
Mm,
But hear that you've then come a full circle and come through that and now have the self-acceptance that you do, that's really inspirational.
thank you.
I think that's amazing. And so many of us, I think, regardless of size, shape, whatever, we all have our own hang-ups, don't we? And our own insecurities.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
yeah,
And I
to
think that's
have,
the thing. Like a lot of people as well, you think you're alone in it. I used to go on holiday and I'd be fully clothed on the beach because I was so scared of people judging me, making comments about me because I've had it all my life. So it was the fact that I was like, I can't show off my body. I can't wear a bikini. I can't show my skin because I'm so scared that I'm just going to get the repercussions of it. When actually 3 years ago, I wore a bikini for the first time on holiday, and I literally did not care what anyone thought because the thing is you're so worried about what other people are thinking about you, but they're worried about their own hang-ups and their own flaws themselves that they really don't actually care what you're thinking
yes,
and what
that's
you're
so true.
feeling. So if you go into that mindset and be like, actually, no one literally is watching me, no one's cared about me. And it just, when I put that bikini on for the first time, it felt so liberating. It felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulders in the fact that I'd spend literally most of my life going to the beach fully clothed, and I'd missed out on so much
Mm. Yeah.
because of those hang-ups and those flaws that I was feeling. And the liberation when I did that was just insane.
Gosh, yeah, that's amazing. But it is so true, isn't it? You're so
Mhm.
focused on you and what you look like and all the insecurities you have, and nobody else is worried because they're all focused on their own stuff. It's, and this holiday that I've just had, beforehand, I've been thinking, right, what are my bikinis? What beach cover-ups have I got?
Mm.
Thinking about how I want to look on the beach. And then got there, and a week into the holiday, I had a cycling accident. And then I was on the beach with my wrist in a splint, with plasters on my shoulder, my knee
Oh
grazes
gosh.
everywhere, had my fingers strapped together. I had a big plaster on my chin, had a black eye. There you go. It just shows, doesn't it? And I still had to go to the beach.
Yeah.
But then I looked a real sight. But I'm turning up like that, and it makes no difference to anybody else. Nobody else has noticed whether I was without all of that or with it. Nobody else is bothered, are they really?
No, really not.
No. You mentioned you bring in mindset as well. How do you see clothing impacting our mindset on a daily basis?
I feel like clothes give you power. I
Mm.
don't see it as a vanity thing, which I think a lot of people can think it's like a high maintenance, it's vanity. I do not see it like that whatsoever. Now, because obviously I specialize in body shape, I don't necessarily think of it as rules. I think of it as a guide when it comes to learning how to dress for your body shape. And for me, it's about honoring your natural body shape. And when you can do that, and for me personally, when I've done that myself, obviously learning how to dress for my body shape, it the power it makes you feel, because there's so many things you can do with it. Like you can highlight the things that you generally love about your body. You can almost like hide it in a way of like the things that you're not so keen on. But then you can also learn to embrace the parts of you that you don't love whilst you're also feeling good wearing the clothes.
Mm.
So for me, clothes is just its power, like the way you can use clothes to make you feel like make you be seen, make you be heard. I think there are so many flaws though when it does come to sizes, because the way clothes are made and the way they are designed for hourglass women. So everyone else that's not an hourglass women are going to have struggles sometimes trying to find clothes that do fit. But it's trial and error. And when you do find something that does feel amazing and that does suit you really well, even color, when you have something that is your color, you just glow. Like it's the transformation you can have just from having something that suits your skin tone is just incredible. So, yeah, I think a lot of people think it's high maintenance thing, but for me, it's a powerful thing.
I love that. The clothing is power.
Mm,
That's brilliant. And you
definitely.
spoke about colour, and yeah, I can see, you're wearing red today, and in all your new branding photos, there's lots of red going on, which is fabulous.
Love
And
red.
yeah, so how does that make you feel, the red?
Uh, re- Honestly, I have become so obsessed with red. It's almost like I've just massively turned up the dial on red. It's my favorite color. It just it gives me so much power and it represents passion. And I feel that is just who I am. Like, I have the passion, the psychological reasons as well when it comes to color, like the way it shines through on my branding. So
Yeah.
yeah, the fact I've just become so obsessed with red, and I have so much red in my wardrobe. And the thing is as well, like it makes me stand out from other people as
Mm.
well. I went down to London on Friday and I was wearing a red suit, and everyone else was all wearing like blacks and greys and like navies and stuff like that. And there's me sitting on the tube in this bright red suit, and I'm like, cool, I stand out.
Yes, for all the right reasons. It's brilliant. And so great because I help women a lot with personal branding from a confidence point of view and a styling point of view. That is so memorable. Like you say, it stand out. You remember it, and it's all about your passion and your view on clothes, and you love it and a true self-expression. You're making it synonymous with your brand.
Because where I help CEOs, I think the way things are on social media, it's almost like everyone just blends in with each other. And it's like, no, 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 we need to express who you are and we need to show that through your style, through your colors, through your branding, everything like that. So then you are going to stand out.
Yes. Which, like you say, on social media especially, can be so hard to do when it's
Mhm.
just a sea of everyone looking the same, talking the same. To do something to stand out is quite challenging. And with the mindset, have you noticed any shifts or any patterns that you're seeing?
So I actually had a client not that long ago, and her body confidence was so high. And she explained to me as well about some health issues that she has recently had. And she was noticing that she was dressing for the health issues that she's had, not dressing for her personality. Her personality is like this big, bold, like bubbly personality. And she was literally wearing leggings and baggy shirts. And I'm like, that's not you. And just by getting to the root cause of why she was dressing the way she was dressing, because I always say there's a reason why you dress the way you dress,
Yeah.
and getting to the root cause of that literally had opened up her eyes. And from then on, all the things that she thought that she couldn't wear, she was wearing crop tops, she was wearing jeans, and she's wearing bright colors. Her branding, for example, is a sea of color. It's an explosion of color. And I'm like, why are we not bringing this into your wardrobe? And then now she's literally wearing waistcoats and mixing colors together. It was amazing to see her step into her own just from having like one session with me, which was absolutely crazy.
That's really amazing. And I do think as well that we often dress, like you say, getting to the root of why somebody dresses the way they do is
Mm,
crucial. And I think we often dress to either kind of reflect our mood or how we feel, or we dress for how we want to feel
mm.
and influences how we feel then by the way we've dressed. So yeah, really interesting to hear that she had health problems and was dressing very much in accordance with how she must have been feeling with the leggings and the baggy tops, and then saved all the things that was truly an expression of her, but didn't feel she could wear them.
It is crazy how the way like our mind thinks in the fact that we just automatically slip into like the leggings and the baggy jumpers and stuff like that because like you say it's how we feel in that moment, not actually dressing for how we want to feel. And when you start dressing for how you want to feel, that's when your energy and your mood shifts. And I think it's amazing in that way. I had another client and she's really high up in the construction industry. She's in a male dominated
Mm.
industry and she was finding that she was pretty much wearing black all the time. And she felt like if she wore something else, she wouldn't be taken seriously as a boss because she's in a male dominated industry. So that's why she ended up basically going back to wearing black all the time. And then after the session that we had, she messaged me a photo of her in a bright red dress. And I was like, oh my God, yes. I was like, that's amazing. Just the fact, like, yeah, after having that session and getting to that root cause of that problem, she
Yeah.
just went out and bought a bright red dress.
And obviously, she must have felt brilliant about it because then she sent you a photo to say, "Look what I've done,"
Yeah,
and to
yeah,
celebrate it.
I love it.
Wow. In male-dominated industries, it's particularly hard because, like you say, it's you need to be taken seriously, and it can be really hard to dress for a position where you're trying to convey that sort of
Mm.
authority as well. In your podcast, and you mentioned earlier, you said you took a break from your business due to your health. Can you share a bit about the impact that that had on your confidence?
Yeah, sure. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis back in 2023, the end of 2023. And basically, that time of my life, I generally felt like I was going to die. I was 29 years old. It was almost like I'm young, I'm superhuman, like nothing's ever going to hit me. And then I just got smacked right in the face with this autoimmune disease. So I'm stuck with it now for the rest of my life. So it's something that I've had to get used to, but you can end up getting flare ups. And I ended up going through a massive flare up in May, and basically it just completely knocked me out. I was sleeping for so long. Um, I was getting like heart palpitations, pins and needles. I was putting on so much weight. There was just there's so many things because like our thyroid controls absolutely everything in our body. So I was getting hormonal depression. So I basically went back to that time where I was just crying for no reason. It was like I struggled to get out of bed. Like it was dark days, and I had other things going on as well in my personal life at the same time, and it was just everything just congregated all at once, and I ended up having like a huge breakdown at the beginning of July, and I went on holiday, which was supposed to be like the time when you're relaxing and you enjoy your time. And instead I just broke down and I was ended up crying every single day. So my poor partner, bless him, ended up dealing with me crying all the time. But having something like that, it obviously it broke me, but it was to the point where it was like I can't do this anymore. Mental health is just something that we just don't talk about enough, and it's something that we need to speak about so much more because it impacts everyone. And I think especially since COVID, like so many people have mental health problems, but we're just not seen, we're just not heard. So something like that, especially as well when I felt like I was on a roll with business, with life, everything, and then to just be hit with a flare up. Having something like that and trying to navigate that whilst having a business is so challenging, like ridiculously challenging. Um, but confidence wise, it knocked me for six, like massively, because I just generally felt like I couldn't go on. And it was a hard time. Like, I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, I'm hoping that obviously the next time, if I have another one, I know exactly how to deal with it. So, yeah. And the thing is, as well, I've started therapy, which that's something else as well, which has been helping me to talk about my feelings and the way I feel and everything like that. So that's been a massive help in myself to be able to bring back my confidence. But yeah, it definitely knocked me for six. So
I'm sorry to hear that. That's so tough.
mm.
And thank you for having the courage to share that. It's a huge story. And how have you managed to build your resilience and come back from that?
It's so odd because at the beginning of July, obviously, I was having this huge breakdown and I was like, oh my God, what is happening to me? When everything builds and builds and builds, I push it down and I don't deal with it. So that's why I've started therapy because I'm like, I need to
Mm.
learn how to deal with my emotions and actually talk about it and process them. And then from that moment to then having a complete identity shift by the end of July, which is absolutely insane. But I always say that once you go down, the only way is up.
Yeah.
So, it's possible that for me to have a sort of have an identity shift like that. But for me, it was getting back to the things that I enjoyed doing. It was finding the little joys in life every single day. I call it my granny court era because I've been doing things like cross stitch or like coloring. I've been doing like crisscross puzzles. It's like loads of little different things like that that I used to do when I was a child, and actually bringing that into my daily life and actually just finding the joys of doing it. Like I reconnected back to songs that I played like from when I was younger, and then I was like dance around in my room. It was connecting back to my inner child is what's managed to actually bring me back to the person I am, and obviously beyond that. Um, so yeah, just finding the little joys in life is something that I think a lot of us we just miss doing those things. We go out to work, we come home, we have dinner, we go to bed, and it's like what sort of life is that? Like we need to have the little things that actually just bring us some joy and some fun into our life, and it makes you happier and it makes you feel better about yourself. So yeah, little things like that is something that really helped me.
Gosh, that's amazing to hear. And not to be underestimated, the little pockets of joy. And I love the way you've described it as like life's too short almost. And,
Mm,
what's the point if you're just doing that and the mundane things and you've got to find the pockets of joy?
yeah,
I think we can all take something from that. When you were talking about coming down and then the only way is up and your new identity after it, I had this image of chrysalis and then a butterfly and that kind of that image of hibernation and then, right, who am I
yeah,
now? Look at me now. And it's because, I
yeah.
mean, to consider where you were in May, that's a lot that you have gone through in a really short space of time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's knowing how to deal with it and how to process it is the thing actually that's been my massive learning curve. And that's the thing that's massively helped me in just knowing that if this does come up again, I know exactly what I can do myself to help me.
Which gives you, that bit of power and that
Yeah,
control. It's more, you've got it, it's happening,
yeah.
there's a way through, you can do it again.
Exactly, because no one's going to come and save me. Having hormonal depression is a horrible thing to have when you're just crying for like no reason whatsoever and your feelings are so numb, like you generally can't feel anything. And to have that, but you can't wait for someone else to come and save you. Like you are the person that has to change things and that has to make you better. And that's the thing that's I suppose stuck with me and learnt about it is that I'm the one that's got to do it, no one else.
That's so true, and I can really relate because I've been battling with my own journey of grief for the last 12 years, which sounds like a long time, but when you're in it, it's different. And
Mm,
and like you say, you've just nobody else can come and save you. You've got to find your own way through these things, and
yeah,
it's easier said than done.
yeah.
Much like coaching, you can help everybody and give them all the stuff, but you've got to do that inner work yourself. You've got to
Yeah.
put in the hard work, haven't you, to see the change? You also mentioned in your podcast that you've taken a break from your full-time job to concentrate on your business. Can you tell me more about that?
I think it was back in March. I watched a video of Simon Squibb, and he basically said like you can't run a business part time. And it really hit me. It hit me hard thinking, oh my God, like, what am I doing? I'm putting in about 50% effort. And I'm thinking, what if I actually took a break from my job, put 100% into this business, and think where I could be? That was a Friday night. The Monday when I went into work, I was like, I'm going to take 3 months off. And it got accepted. I was like, amazing, this is great. So then I went on a walk one day and I was listening to someone's podcast. Her name was Beck Stewart. She's like so full of energy and just like the stuff that she talks about, I just absolutely love. And she was basically saying a story about when she was in her corporate job, she was only putting in about 50% effort. So she moved across Australia. She quit her job, and she basically within the first 6 months of being full time in her business, she went straight to six figures because she was
Gosh.
putting in 110% effort, not putting in half the effort. And I resonated so much with that because I was like, I'm only putting in about 50% effort. So I ended up getting 6 months and I was like, I'm gonna take it from July. So I've only been off for a month already, but when I left in July, which obviously happened to then also be the start of my breakdown, I realized that I was actually grieving. So to have something like that and basically my comfort blanket just literally taken away from me, I am grieving the fact that I have left my job because I thought I'd be doing cartwheels down the aisle. I thought I'd be having a party. Like I genuinely thought I'd be feeling all these things, and instead I was just crying about it. And now that I am a month in, I'm not going back. I was
Oh
like,
gosh.
I was like, I'm not going back because I generally love doing what I'm doing now. And the fact is that because I'm putting in so much effort into it, I'm like, no, 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 we're not going back there. Like,
Oh.
so yeah, even if I got to the point where I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm safe that I can actually leave this job. But this mindset for me is that if I remove this safety blanket of this money coming in every month, basically I have to make it work for myself and I have to do this in order to be able to make that money. So that's the reason why I did it. And I'm also one of those people that's I can't do something either side of it. I have to go all in. And it's like an all or nothing kind of situation. So much can happen in 6 months, and it's only been a month, and so much has happened already. So who knows where I could be at the end of the 6 months. So yeah, it's taking that bet on yourself. And I think a lot of
Yes.
us just don't do that enough. And I just know that amazing things are gonna happen just because I did that.
Yeah, you've bet on yourself, and that's so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's lovely to hear that you've kind of taken that leap of faith almost, and in doing it, you've thought, no, not going back. This is it. This is what I enjoy. It's
Yeah.
clearly the right move for you. So, going back to clothing a bit and your style,
Mhm.
can you remember a time where you have felt really, truly confident in your style?
I would say now is the time that I feel the most confident. And I think a lot of it is to do with red. Don't get me wrong. I do think a lot of it is that, but it's also the fact that I have pieces in my wardrobe that I generally love. And years and years ago, I would always be like, as soon as I get paid, I need to go and buy something new. Like it was that constant dopamine hit where I was
Mm.
like, I need to have something new just to make me feel better. When actually, really, it's more damaging than the fact that I was going out and buying new clothes every month. But for me now, like the only thing I have only brought this year is literally a red suit. That's for the whole entire year so far. And what are we like 8 months into the year?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've brought this year because I'm generally so happy with my wardrobe and the way I've built it up. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not something I've done like overnight. It's something that I've generally built up over time and found those key pieces that are just going to make me feel incredible like season after season. Obviously knowing my body shape has massively helped me in that as well, but yeah, to fact to go from someone who was like obsessed with constantly buying clothes all the time to someone who's literally brought one suit this year is actually insane.
That is, but what a suit, what a thing to buy if you're only going to buy
Yeah.
one thing.
Exactly.
I talk about power pieces a lot, which are
Mm.
kind of things that to me might be a colour like red, just anything red, you feel great. Or
Yeah.
it might be a particular pair of shoes, or it might be a piece of jewellery that when you wear it, you feel grounded, you feel confident, and you kind of feel like you. What comes to mind for you in terms of power pieces?
Definitely anything that's red is the
Anything.
thing for me.
That's
That's
brilliant.
my power pieces. It just as soon as I put something on it that's red, it completely lights me up. And like this suit that I bought earlier in the year is also red. And it's the thing that I wear if I go and speak at an event or something like that. It's just one of those things that, like you say, it makes me step into that power. And I think power dressing is such an amazing thing to have. Like I know everyone speaks about like dopamine dressing and things like that, but I don't feel like power dressing is spoken about enough. Um,
No.
so I definitely feel like it's something that needs to be spoken about on social media more is having those power pieces that literally make you feel like you are on top of the world. Like I can do anything. Having those in your wardrobe, especially on times in like in your business, for example, if you're doing an event or you're doing things that are really important, but you're going to be in front of people, having something like that is just going to give you that extra boost of confidence to be like, I can do anything.
Yes, absolutely. Something to really anchor the confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I completely agree. Power dressing is, I think, to a lot of people, still bright blue power shoulders from the 80s kind of thing, not power dressing that it is today.
Yes, it's funny you say that actually, because I recorded a video yesterday that I was going to put out, and it was talking about power dressing and the fact that people think that dressing professionally is
Mm.
still wearing the blazer, the high heel shoes, like, but that's not what it's about. Power dressing is what power dressing means to you, and it doesn't mean something like that at all. And I think it's that whole thing that we need to dress like that just so we can feel credible, when actually that's not the thing at all.
Yeah, because if it's not you and you don't feel like it's authentic or it's a true expression of you, then you're
Yeah,
just going to feel really uncomfortable and it's going to have the absolute opposite
exactly.
effect.
Exactly.
Conversely, can you remember a time when you were wearing something and it just didn't feel right on you at all?
My daily uniform when I was younger was always leggings and a baggy, oversized jumper. That was always my thing. Oh, and I used to wear like ankle, no, did I wear ankle boots? They were like kind of went up to like my shin. It was almost like a hiker boot type thing. Um, that was my daily uniform. That was the thing for me because I thought, oh, if I hide myself, people won't see me. And I
Yeah.
used to wear tons and tons of jewelry, everything like that, because it was the thing to take away from me and my body so that people didn't see who I really was. So for me, wearing leggings and like really baggy jumpers, that was just my safety blanket. Like that was my safe outfit. I thought, so then people don't actually see who I really am. Um, so yeah, for me, it was always that. It gave me no confidence whatsoever. And I don't wear leggings now. I'd rather burn them.
But I think that's such a common mistake that people make. They kind of wear clothes that they feel hidden in to help them feel invisible. But
Mm,
actually, rather like your experience, it doesn't actually help with confidence at all. It's
no.
what the difference is that you've felt between, your kind of uniform that you were hiding in compared to your powerful pieces now that you love to wear.
Oh, I feel like when I was wearing the leggings and the baggy jumper, f for me, it's energy.
Mm.
Like the energy that I was getting from wearing that was quite low. And obviously because my self-esteem was low, it was just this lull the whole entire time. Whereas wearing powered pieces and having that confidence to wear those power pieces, my energy and my frequency is a lot higher. And then obviously then people feed off that energy off of me and then they then feel higher and more impacted and everything like that. So for me, yeah, the difference is energy because I feel like energy is just everything. Like when you meet someone new, their energy is just infectious. And yeah, so for me, the difference is energy.
Yeah, and that energy when you're hiding and you've got low self-esteem, it's cyclical, isn't it? It's a complete downward spiral and it's sort of self-perpetuating. But then
Yep.
equally, if you dress to influence your mood, and then you've got the high energy pieces, it is self-perpetuating in a much more positive way, positively reinforcing how you feel. And I completely agree. Energy is everything, isn't it? Because the energy that you have, if you can express that authentically,
Mm,
you attract people with a similar kind of frequency of energy, don't you? And
yep.
you get
Yeah.
people that are your sort of people naturally attracted to you.
Exactly, yeah. And positivity is everything. I think
Yeah.
that's something as well I've had to learn massively is that positivity is everything. I know sometimes it can be hard to be in that positive mindset. Like you do have days where you kind of like think in the negative thoughts, but you're like, brain, it's okay. Like we're safe, we're gonna be fine. But it's that whole when you're feeling great about yourself and your energy is higher, the positivity comes, and then more positivity, and then you just attract more and more and more. And then obviously, like you've got the opposite end where if you are in a negative mindset and you are in that low, you're just going to attract more negativity into your life. So, yeah, definitely, I agree.
And that comes into the mindset part of the styling that's so important to you
Mm.
to really back up everything you're doing visually with the mindset behind it. And it's what's the word I'm looking for? But they feed off each other, don't they? I can't think of the right word. But yeah, they feed off each other and they support each other. What is one small change that you think someone could make today to start dressing more intentionally to influence their energy and the way they feel?
So, dressing intentionally, like having style with intention is something so powerful and it's something I'm stepping more and more into. It's like dressing with attention rather than actually following the latest trends or what everyone else is wearing on social media. I always think for me, even if you started off really small and you just had something like an accessory, for example, it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, but you're like, oh, wait, that's a bit of me, but it's not too much of a stretch to be like, oh, I'm going to wear head to toe in that. It's just something that's going to make you feel a little bit more expansive. So for me, like for example, I have this red hat and I absolutely love it. And I do like my content in it and everything like that because obviously then when people think of me, they think, oh, that's the girl with the red hat and like she does all the mindset styling. So for something like that, especially as well as a personal brand view,
Mm.
having something that's as simple as that is going to be something that's going to make you stand out. It's going to bring that energy. It's going to bring that confidence. It's going to be something like almost your signature look. Even
Yeah.
if it was just like you put on some lipstick or something that you just generally wouldn't do, and if you kept on doing it and repeated it and repeated it and repeated it, people would then start noticing and they're like, oh, that's her that does such and such because she does this. Like I always say, the best person I can always describe is like Anna Wintour, for example. She is always known for her iconic bob and her black sunglasses. Like that
Yeah.
is her signature look. Like everyone knows who she is because she has stuck with that and repeated it over and over again. So something just, even if it's just like, yeah, like I say, like a lipstick, a hat, something small that feels stretchy for you and that feels expansive, but is something that you can build on and then keep on building and keep on building until you get to that point where you're like, damn, I'm gonna wear like head to toe red. Like something like that.
That's a really good piece of advice. I like that. Just find something and it's, repeating it, it becomes iconic, it becomes your thing, and people will associate you with it, which is kind of all that personal branding's about, really, isn't it? That sort of association that people have when you're not there.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
And similarly, if somebody wanted to use their style for growth and transformation, where could they begin?
That's a really good question because I feel like there's so much out there that you where you could start. I would say experiment. Start finding things, even if you go on Pinterest, for example, start having a look at what other people are wearing, what draws you in. If you start having a look at what you're like, oh, actually, that looks amazing. Like, could I wear that? And start questioning what could you actually wear. So yeah, I think starting somewhere like Pinterest and just getting curious as to what actually you could start wearing and start having a little bit of an experimentation. Like going out to the shops or something, go and have a try on, go and try something that you generally would never have looked at before and think, how does it make you feel? Like, does it light you up inside? If it doesn't, then try something else. Like fashion and styling is supposed to be fun. And I think there can be so much on it where it's like, you need to do this, you need to do this, when actually just enjoy it, just experiment, get curious, have fun with it, and just see what you like.
Yeah, it is fundamentally supposed to be fun, supposed to be a good thing. With your rebranding and your new brand direction, what does that convey about the types of clients that you're going to work with and that direction you're taking your business in?
So I tried to go for more premium and more luxury vibes, which my whole brand is built around this concept that you are the main character of your own movie. Using your style, your body confidence, becoming so obsessed with yourself that you just stand out everywhere in the industry. You are known for it. Like everyone's attracted to you. Your energy is like it just brings in so much goodness. That's the kind of direction that I'm generally going in. And making it simple as well. That's the other thing as well. Because I've had to, with this whole illness and health problems and stuff like that, if things like flare ups do come up again, I can't be doing too many things at once. So I've made it very simple for myself in the fact that I've only got one signature offer and then I've got something else that's passive and then something else that's like in person, but I can pick and choose when I want to sell that and want to do that. So it's something for me, and I thrive on simplicity as well, making it simple for myself because like I'm a projector as well, if anyone's into human design. So simplicity is like my second name. So having something that's luxury, premium, as well as simple, it just like it speaks to my soul. So yeah.
Yeah, I think simplicity, it's so powerful and it's so clear. It it just gets complicated otherwise, doesn't
It does.
it? Um, so if people would like to connect with you and find out more about you, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, and I've just started TikTok. So that's another thing I've been doing. At the Success Styling Co. I've also got a podcast as well that's called the Success Styling Co. I've just had it trademarked, so I'm using that name everywhere. So
Yes, that's brilliant.
so yeah, that's where you can find me pretty much. That's where I hang out the most.
Well, thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you today and so informative, and we've covered all sorts of things. I'm sure everyone listening has enjoyed it, and I know I certainly have. So thank you ever so much. Thank you for listening to Style and Confidence, where style meets confidence for business success. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly confidence building conversations. You can also connect with me over on LinkedIn as Claire Silk or on Instagram at Silk Style and Confidence for more style and mindset tips. Until next time, remember, true confidence comes from within. Style helps it shine.